Mysterious miracles of Manasarovar and Kailash. Kailash, the abode of Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati in the majestic Himalayas, has been the center of fascination for pilgrims for thousands of years. Considered holy by Hindus, Buddhists and Jains alike, it is considered the spiritual center of earth by many. There are enthralling stories associated with it. Some saints believe that 500 souls reside on this mountain, and only when any one soul wishes for moksha, liberation, is another soul allowed to reside in this hallowed area. There is another equally fascinating account that the holiest of souls gather on this mountain on 3 occasions each year: Guru Purnima, Buddha Purnima and Kartik Purnima. Shorn of any vegetation and embedded deep under layers of snow, its grandeur and gravitas is felt by all who visit its slopes. Mysterious lights. People who halt a night at the Kailash, or rather at Lake Mansarovar, have seen 2 lamp-like lights following each other in the dark sky. These are white lights which are like dots but clearly visible to human eye and are also always in movement. Sometimes the firmament over the lake is also illuminated by mysterious lights. People believe these lights belong to self-realized sages living at Kailash. Splashing of water by the invisible beings. Early in the morning, during Brahma Muhurit, people living in tents have heard the splashing of the water of the Mansarovar. They have also heard the sounds of ornaments. As per one account, a lady stepped out of her tent, and though she could see no one, she saw movement of water. There are stories that the Sapta Rishis, or 7 sages mentioned in Indian mythology, come and bathe every morning at the Mansarovar lake. Kalp and Kinnar Kailash. Kalp is a small town located on a hill few kilometers above Rikhongpio, the administrative capital of Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh. Kalp is most famous for some of the best views of Kinnar Kailash range of Himalayas. The Shivling peak from Kalp that changes color through the day. These mountains are considered sacred both by the Hindus and Buddhists. As per mythological beliefs, it is believed that Kinnar Kailash range of Himalayas is the winter home of Lord Shiva. He comes to this place in winters when the climate is perfect for meditating. Mount Kailash, at a height of 6,638 meters, stands isolated on the Tibetan plateau. Its 4 sides are so regular that it appears to be the dome of a temple, rising from the base of the Tibetan plateau at 4,572 meters. Lying 40 km south of it are the Lake Mansarovar and Lake Rakshastal. Lake Mansarovar lies at 4,600 meters and is the world's highest freshwater lake, supporting countless species of fishes, birds and plants. It is nestled in the massif around Mount Gurla Madhata, which is at a height of 7,694 meters, rising south of the lake. Lake Rakshastal, at a height of 4,292 meters, lies a short distance east of Mansarovar. In stark contrast, this is a saltwater lake that supports few forms of life. Through its fresh and calm water, Lake Mansarovar invokes a feeling of peace, while bareness and strong winds found at Lake Rakshastal create a feeling of harshness and turmoil. The former is situated towards east and latter to the west. In Tibetan art, the rising sun from east therefore results in pictorial representation of Mansarovar as sun and that of Rakshastal as moon. Interestingly, the aerial views of the 2 lakes are also in stark contrast. Mansarovar, with its circular form, does indeed look like the sun, while the semicircular form of Rakshastal evokes the crescent moon. The positive, peaceful aspects of Lake Mansarovar have therefore resulted in its association with gods, whereas the opposite traits of Lake Rakshastal have linked it to demons. And to the north of these lakes stands the mighty Mount Kailash, representing metaphysical consciousness. Aspiring pilgrims to this region first take a dip in the Lake Mansarovar, an act that is believed to bring them closer to the positive forces that represent the gods. They then proceed to Mount Kailash to perform a Kaura, religious walk circling the mountain over a 2 to 3 day period, which signifies the purification of human consciousness. It is also very interesting that none of the pilgrims ever aspire to visit Lake Rakshastal, despite being no less beautiful in its own way. To appreciate the association of consciousness with Mount Kailash, one needs to see an aerial view of its landscape. Within its proximity, radiating like spokes from the hub of a wheel, 4 mighty rivers of Asia take course towards the east, west, northwest and south. These rivers are the Brahmaputra, Indus, Satluj and Karnali. The Brahmaputra and Karnali, the source of the Ganges, drain into the Bay of Bengal, while the Satluj and Indus find their way to the Arabian Sea. Water is an essential element to create and sustain life. Since life springs in physical elements through presence of consciousness, the Kailash landscape, which is the source of water for the Asian subcontinent, is therefore associated with supreme consciousness itself. Hindus and Buddhists, Mount Kailash is metaphysically referred as Meru and seen to be the center of universe. Just as subatomic particles are essentially microcosmic replicas of the vast universe, so too is the psychophysical organism of the human body. Meru in the human body is represented by the point inside the nervous system into which the spinal cord extends. It is believed that human consciousness resides here. So is the metaphysical location of Mount Kailash is seen to be the consolidation of universal consciousness. To Hindus, Mount Kailash is the seat of Lord Shiva, the form of God that destroys ignorance and illusion. It is on this mountain that he sits in a state of infinite meditation. Devout Hindus view the 3 horizontal lines on the south face of Mount Kailash, where the steep gradient cannot support snow, as the symbol of the followers of Lord Shiva. Buddhists, on the other hand, associate Mount Kailash with Milarepa, 1052 AD, a teacher of Tantric Buddhism, who challenged Narong Bonchung, champion of the prehistoric Bon religion of Tibet. Their debates, having resulted in no conclusive supremacy, led to an agreement that whoever reaches the summit of Mount Kailash first would be considered the victor and his philosophy would prevail in Tibet. Narong Bonchung used magic drums to rapidly ascend, while Milarepa sat at the base of the mountain in a deep meditation. Breaking his trance, he suddenly moved into action and rode on the rays of the sun that had started to descend from the top of the mountain, reaching the mountaintop before Narong Bonchung. At the peak, he picked some snow and threw it on the top of a nearby mountain, called Bonri, signifying that even though Tantric Buddhism would become supreme in Tibet, the Bon religion would continue to have a footprint. For the followers of Bon, a religion that predates Buddhism, it is their belief that the entire region of Kailash and its surrounding lakes are a seat of spiritual power. Jainism, a religion from India, associates the region with their first teacher, Tirthankara Rishabhdeva. It is here that he is believed to have achieved spiritual liberation. Like the spiritual aspects of Mount Kailash, Lake Mansarovar too finds its importance in many religious beliefs. In Hindu mythology, Mansarovar was carved by Brahma, the god of creation, for his son to bathe in after meditating at the nearby Mount Kailash. Metaphysically, Mansarovar, Manas, meaning mind, Sarovar, meaning lake, is where one finds a sacred goose or swan called Hamsa whose whiteness symbolizes purity. For Buddhists, the lake is associated with Maya, Buddha's mother, who is believed to have conceived Buddha around this lake. It is also believed that later in his life, Buddha himself visited the lake. Guru Nanak, the first Guru of the Sikh faith, which was founded in the plains of Punjab in India and Pakistan, is also believed to have travelled to Tibet and stayed around the lake Mansarovar. The Sikh scripture, Guru Granth Sahib, says that while spiritual seekers search the unfathomable presence of God by visiting worldly places like temples, mountains, lakes, and so on, but with the right frame of mind, God can be well realized within oneself in any place. Rakshastal, whose Tibetan name Lagngarko, has a similar sounding to the name Lanka, from the country Sri Lanka. In Hindu mythology, it is believed that Sri Lanka was once ruled by Ravana, a 10-headed demon king. Ravana confronted Rama, the god king, and this is described in the Hindu mythological scripture, the Ramayana. According to Hindu belief, Ravan created Lake Rakshastal to gain supernatural powers by meditating on its banks, in close proximity to Mount Kailash. With this association with Ravana and its lifeless waters and gusting winds, the lake is given a wide berth by spiritual seekers, who have no desire to be drawn in by its negative energy. Yet the lake remains a spectacular natural wonder, despite its notorious image. After all, it too is God's own creation. Profoundness of belief, mythology and history of this region were also the reason why the majority of the monasteries here were destroyed during the Chinese Cultural Revolution of 1966 to 1976. Chairman Mao, who led the movement, is believed to have said, "Religion is poison." Not only were the Tibetan Buddhists not able to practice their beliefs for years after the revolution, the region was also closed to Hindu and Jain spiritual seekers from India. No foreigners were allowed in this area till the 1980. Even now, travel in Tibet remains highly restricted and requires a lot of planning. However, the true personality of a place lies in its power to consistently influence its believers. Tibet has again started attracting Hindus, Buddhists, Jains and Bon followers. Today's generations yearn to experience the aura of this terrain.